Well, welcome back to our thought for the day on the 15th of May 2020. And today we're going to end our long series on the Franciscan spirituality and journeying with St. Francis. And to finish our series, I'm going to cheat a little and I'm going to read from Brother Ramon's book verbatim his last little epilogue in his book called Francis, the Universal Brother. Now, Francis is perhaps one of the most popular religious people in the whole of the world, and this extends to all many other faiths. People from many other faiths, as well as Christian faiths, all have an affection for St. Francis, and there's very little negative press in regards to St. Francis. When the Pope John Paul II, was trying to get an interfaith dialogue happening with all faiths, the only place in the world that all of them would agree to meet was Assisi, which just speaks volumes in regards to the regard that St. Francis is held, even not just within the Christian faith, but across all faiths. So with that in mind, I'm going to read this, and it is in the first person, so it will say I along there. However, when I read this, it really does echo my own journey into the Franciscan world and in Franciscan spirituality. So I don't feel too much of a fraud when I speak this in the first person. But here we go. Francis, the Universal Brother. Towards the end of the book of the Lover and the Beloved, Ramon Lull tells of the lover wandering into a monastic cloister. The monks ask if he is a religious. Yes, he answers, of the order of my beloved. They inquire what rule he follows. The rule of my beloved, he replies. Then he is asked, to whom is he vowed? To my beloved, he says. The monks then ask him if he follows his own will. No, he says again, it is given to my beloved. It is clear that the lover is joined to Christ alone and will not follow any monastic name, founder, or rule. It is his turn to ask the questions. So he turns to the monks. Why do you who are religious not take the name of my beloved? May it not be that as you bear the name of another, your love may grow less, and that hearing the voice of another, you may not catch the voice of my beloved? Raymond Lull is a real Franciscan in this. The name, rule, or order of Francis will never supplant the love of his beloved Jesus, and it is the love and spirit of Jesus that makes Francis the universal brother of all. There is no Franciscan spirituality apart from the gospel. No name, no rule, no teaching, and no way, but the spirit and life of Jesus. Indeed, it is Francis who enables us to see more clearly the universality of Jesus when so many parts of the church and so many sects domesticate and tame Jesus for their own liking and manipulate the gospel to suit their own perspectives and standards. In that sense, Francis has enabled me to see Jesus more clearly. And Francis has both filled me with more profound love for Jesus and scared me in the realization of what Jesus asks of me. I see Jesus more clearly, hear Jesus more distinctly, feel Jesus more immediately, love Jesus more intimately. So now I ask myself the question, do I follow Jesus now more closely? As we have been exploring Franciscan spirituality as an overflow of the gospel, there are these three things that emerge. First, Francis was identified with Jesus so closely that he was wounded with the sorrow and joy of Christ, which led him into the mystery of God. Second, he allowed that mystery to radiate through his being so that he became a brother to all humanity, to all living creatures, to all creation. Third, he allowed that mystery of love to become incarnate. He gave himself body, soul, and spirit for the alleviation of suffering and the redemption of all through the love of Christ. All the factual and embroidered stories of Francis reflect this Calvary love. And I encourage the reader of these words to follow and love Jesus Christ in the steps of the poor man of Assisi, who said, as he lay dying, I have done what it was mine to do. May Christ teach you what is yours. May Christ bless all of you who have listened to me rattle on for the last 30 days or so. And may the Franciscan and the life of St. Francis be an enlightenment to you and an encouragement to you to live more and more a gospel and Christ-like life.